Dear Father, Mother God, I thank you for allowing me to be here today with THEA. I ask that all energies that flow through us be grounded in Mother Earth, for she, in fact, is the living healer. I call on our guides and our angels to speak through us now so that we may communicate. Thank you, Mother, Father, God, all that is. Okay, here we are. This is Anita here with THEA.
Yeah.
And we've been visiting a little bit earlier.
Yeah.
And
I'm very happy to be here. I'm very glad that we are doing this video thanks to our connection person, our connection point, that is Giorgio Cerquetti. And I'm so honored to be close to you because you are a beautiful example of a female, of a woman who is very in a powerful spiritual position and leads people to give the best of themselves to the others, for themselves and to the others. So I would like very much to give some questions, ask some questions to Anita, because we are now in Sedona in Arizona, which is a very spiritual healing place, and we are now in this moment in the center of the new age that Anita has founded. You are the founder of the place, and here is where Anita and Giorgio met for the first time.
Like 20 something years ago.
Yeah, so I would like you to let us know, to tell us something more about this center, about Sedona, about your encounter with Giorgio, this connection that we have, and whatever you want to say.
You know, we talked earlier about me being a salesperson and you know, but the more spiritual I got, the more, you know, the more connection I got with spirit, the more money I made, the more sales I had. That's like the normal, right?
Yeah.
So I had this great life, the house on the golf course and 2 Cadillacs in the garage, on everything like that. And it was a time where I knew that I had to do something else, but I didn't know what it was. You know, because it's hard sometimes when you have a great job and you have a great life and everything looks kind of perfect.
Yeah.
But you know that there's something more. Okay, so that's the feeling I had. I knew there was something more. So I said to my husband, I have to go on a spiritual quest. Oh, one day he came home and there was no furniture in the house because I gave it all away.
Oh, wow, in one day.
Yeah, he said, what is this about? Is this menopause? And I said, no. I have to go on a spiritual quest, and I don't know what that's about, but I have to let go of things. Okay, I have to let go of things. And so he said, where are you going? And I said, I have no idea. He said, can I come? And I said, well, you don't like when I don't know where I'm going. And he said, I'm coming with you. So so I said, okay.
He loved you.
Yeah. So we were driving. He said, okay, where should we go? I said, I don't know. Go towards Colorado. I never thought of Arizona. I never heard of Sedona. I thought Arizona was just one great big desert. So I said, maybe Colorado, you know? And so we did. We drove to Colorado. We had a great time along the way. It was very beautiful, nice experience. But when we got to Colorado Springs, I said, we missed it. He said, missed what? I said, I don't know, but we missed it. So we have to turn around and go back. So we did. And then I said to him, stop at the Grand Canyon. So we stopped at the Grand Canyon. We stayed in the El Tovar Hotel, which was very haunted. And that's something I can do too, speak to spirits, but I don't choose to these days. I've done that. It was a great experience, but I don't do it anymore. Anyway, so I said, one of the maitre d's said, oh, if you ever get to Flagstaff, you know, go to our sister resort. I said, that's it, we're going to Flagstaff. So we came to Flagstaff, Arizona, and I was a little disappointed. And I was like, I'm not feeling it. This isn't, I'm not feeling it. So I said to someone, is there something spiritual around here? She said, go down Oak Creek Canyon to Sedona. I said, oh, okay. So we did. And when we got to Midgley Bridge, I had a bliss experience. Have you had a bliss experience?
Yeah.
Okay.
But I would like you to really describe, if you want.
Yeah. Well, a bliss experience. It's you're still in your body, but it's like for a brief moment you have a knowingness of everything that ever was. Okay. And I had that bliss experience only one other time in San Diego, and so when I had it, I felt. I was speechless. And so my husband said, are you okay? And I said, this is it. This is it. And he said, okay. And he said, maybe you're having a blood sugar experience and you need to get some lunch. So we stopped at the first restaurant we saw, a Mexican restaurant. And as we were sitting there, I looked across the street and I saw this resort, Arroyo Roble. And I said, oh my God, that's one of our resorts that I sold when I was in timeshare. That's one of our resorts. He said, so? I said, so I have to go over there. You know, so I ran across the street and all these people I knew. Now keep in mind, I've never heard of Sedona, okay?
Yeah.
And anyway, before we left that day, I had a job. So my husband said, you're crazy, I'm not moving here. I love California, this little podunk town, they don't even have a movie theater. I said, yeah, they have something called the Flicker Shack. I know I'm moving here, okay? So that's where it began. I didn't know anything about vortexes, okay? I found that out later, but I felt the energy. I knew it. I knew I was supposed to be here. And
immediately, when you entered in the energy field, you immediately had the blessing experience because you were so ready for that. So immediately when your energy got in contact with the energy of this sacred place, it was a marriage.
It was.
A spiritual marriage.
And so that was 25 years ago. And when I first came here, like I said, I had a job. I got a great job. And then when I was supposed to start the job, I said to my husband, you take the job, I'm not doing it. And he said, what are you doing? And I said, I don't know. I don't know. So for a while I did pottery. You know, I made pottery on a wheel. And but to me it was a meditation. It was meditation. The red clay, and then and the first 2 years I was here, all I did was go to the vortexes. Because the energy, see, some people come here and they go to the vortex and they don't feel anything because it depends on where your energy is at, what you're vibrating at. Some people come and they have automatic healings.
Yeah,
okay?
Also physical healings.
Physical healing.
Feeling.
Yeah.
Physical.
So, and I forget who it was that wrote a book about it. James Redkin? No.
The book about the vortexes or the
book? No, that's my daughter Jamie. A book about having spontaneous healing here. So this author came here to write a book, and while he was here, he twisted his ankle, and he was unable to walk. And then he got some people to help him to get up to one of the vortexes. He had a spontaneous healing and threw away his cane, and then he wrote a whole book about it. So there's lots of stories like that, and I hear a lot of people have my same story, where they didn't know why they were coming here or what they were going to do here, but they came, and then all the pieces kind of just fall in a row, and so for months and months I would pass this building. It was an old apartment building, okay? And it wasn't a very good neighborhood 25 years ago. And it was very run down. It had been flooded, and it was a mess. And I would keep looking at it, and I would keep looking at it. And then one night, in the middle of the night, I woke up and I was doing automatic writing. Okay, you know what that is?
Yeah, when you write like that.
Well, the spirit's writing through you. You don't know what you're doing. Okay, so and that was the first time I ever did that. So I was automatic writing, and then my husband woke up and he said, "What are you doing?" And I looked down. I said, "Oh, I'm writing a proposal for that building on the creek." He said, "Are you crazy? What are you going to do there?" You know, I said, "I don't know. They haven't got to that part yet." He said, "My company's been trying to buy that land for years, and the people who own it want to keep it in the family, and they're not selling it." I said, "I don't care. I don't know." So I called the realtor the next day, and I said, "I want to make an offer on the building, you know, on 179. And he said, "Oh no, let me show you something else." He said, "That place is a mess. The owners, they won't put any money into it. It's overpriced. Let me show you something else." I said, No, you don't understand. He says, "Okay, well, what time do you want to see it?" And I said, "I don't even need to see it." Good thing I didn't see it. So I said, I have a proposal. I used to be in real estate, so I know how to write a contract.
Yeah.
And I'm going to drop it off at your office. And he looked at it, he laughed, you know, he said, "Oh, they're never going to go for this." He called me a few hours later and said, "Okay. Couple different provisions you have to do. They're not going to do anything. You have to fix the whole thing." I said, "It's okay." You know? And my husband says, "Where are we going to get the money to do that?" I said, "I don't know. They haven't told me that yet either." So that's how it happens. But it happens, you got to be in faith. Okay?
Yeah, this is a very important point.
It's very important because your brain can get in there and say, "Oh, you can't do this," and other people tell you, you can't do this. How are you going to do this? You don't have enough money. You don't have to, you know." Stop, you know. And I remember there was this much mud in the building downstairs because it had been flooded, and we had to shovel out all the mud. I had to order carpet. And I really didn't have any money for the carpet. So I went to the carpet place. I asked them, "Do you have any remnants? Do you have, you know?" Anyway, they came to lay the carpet. And I said, "I need you to stop because I don't have the money." He said, "You'll have it. Don't worry. We'll put it down. You'll pay me."
Wow. And also he was a very special person.
Yeah, so see, but the universe sends you this.
Yeah.
They send you these special people. They're there to help you. Maybe you knew them in the past life. Like, yeah. You don't
like
know.
Like us.
Yeah. Like, you don't know what maybe you did for them in another life. You know? And anyway, so little by little, all those things happen. I didn't have the money because I was sending my kids to college, and, you know, I didn't have the money to do this, or I didn't know one crystal from another. I didn't know. But I just was in faith. Every day I woke up in faith, said, "Okay, tell me what to do now."
Yeah. And you, what I'm seeing being close to you these hours, I see that you use a very positive language, a very high vibrating language, and so that you attract the good things. I see it very much. So I imagine that you paid a lot of attention to your speech in that period to attract the right
That's
things.
very important, because what comes out of our mouth, okay, is what happens. And when people are constantly saying, "I can't, I don't know how," that voice is going out to the universe. Okay?
Yeah.
So when you're in faith, because, well, what else? What, you know, my husband said, "Well, we could lose everything." I said, "Well, what do we have to lose? So what? You know, you have to care, but not that much." And did I know I was going to have a store downstairs? No. When I first came here, I met all these wonderful psychic people. Not one of them was making a living doing their psychic work. Not one of them.
Not
okay?
one.
Because when you're doing the work that we do, a lot of times you're in the right side of your brain.
Yeah.
That's why we need partners who are on the other side of their brain.
Yeah.
Who are on the left side of their brain.
Yeah, yeah.
Because we need somebody to do the business part. You see, I knew I couldn't do the business. I couldn't even keep my checkbook straight. So I said to Spirit, how am I going to do this? And I said, well, I'll hire somebody to do that. So when Susan, my bookkeeper, came to apply for the job, I said, you know, I can't pay you very much. She said, I'll work for pizza. Okay? So you see, those are little miracles, okay? The little miracles that show up that you're not expecting.
Yeah.
But that's how it happens. And my mission was, and still is, that I wanted to let psychic people know that they could have a decent life and make a decent living doing their spiritual work. Because a lot of them, they were dishwashers, waitresses, and trying to do the spiritual stuff on the side. So you don't have to do that, okay?
No.
This is a gift, and you deserve to be, Spirit wants to pay you and take care of you for having this gift.
Yeah.
Because most of them, they say, oh, we can't charge for this. Well, you don't have to charge. Spirit will just send it to you, trust me. It'll just come, okay? So I have trained maybe in this town, I don't know how many hundreds and hundreds of psychic people.
Wow.
To make a living doing their psychic. And they go up the street and down the street and they open their own businesses. And that's great, you know? That's great because there's no competition, okay? You can copy me, but you can't be me. So you have to be you first, and then the universe will put you in the right place and tell you what to do next.
Yeah, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
And this is also what I experienced, that when I began to sing mantras and getting in contact with my real aim in life, my real way of doing things, my personal flavor in doing what I do, then the universe helped me to get the right situation. So I really understand what you mean, and also this is very important because the phrase that you said, you can copy but you can't be me. Everybody is only himself or herself, but this is the greatest power that each of us has. And when we really get into that is our real nature, then everything fixes in a certain way that is the best way to us to express ourselves, and this is a miracle, right?
Yes, because sometimes it doesn't look like it's gonna, like you think it is.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because God has a better idea.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Because our physical brains are limited. We only see what we know, but the universe, God has a better idea, you know. And then when we see that, okay, and one of the things that I never took no for an answer. You didn't either. You never took no for an answer.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
And somebody says you can't do this. No, that's not going to work. No, I don't have a position for it. No, I can't. You never took no.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Right.
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 Yeah.
Right.
And so that's what's really important, you know. And there's a lot of retired movie stars in this town.
Ah.
Yeah, there are. Because it's so beautiful and it's so, you know. One thing I know about every one of them that I've met is they had this spiritual calling first. Okay? They had that they knew they had a desire, they wanted to be an actor, an actress, whatever. But then they had this spiritual knowingness, you know, and that's when it happened for them. That's when they got that big break. You know? And my daughter's, she never wanted to be psychic or woo-woo, like, you know, she wanted to be normal. She went to college to be a teacher, a
Educator.
special education teacher. She wanted to be normal. She didn't want to do this crazy stuff, okay? But she is it. She can't help but do it, okay? So finally, after trying this and trying that and trying this, and she said, okay, I'm just gonna do it. And she's been the most successful. She's very highly in demand, and she's great at what she does, and she makes a lot of money. But sometimes you resist because it doesn't look like what you think is somebody else's idea, or somebody's gonna, like I have people say, don't tell anybody I'm psychic. Don't tell this person I'm psychic. Or I can't talk to my family about that. So, but everyone is psychic. Everyone is psychic.
Yeah, because we are multidimensional beings
Right.
of light. And the more our vibration, as you said,
Right.
rises, the more our multidimensional awareness comes out, no? Right?
Exactly, exactly.
Yeah.
25 years ago, or 20-something years ago, I don't know, I met Giorgio, okay?
Yeah, I really want this story.
Well, I don't remember a lot about that meeting. The center was new, it was in its infancy, and I was a very large woman at that time. You showed me a picture, and I said, oh, yeah, that was me. But part of that weight that I was carrying, okay, was like a shield, okay, because I didn't really want to get in touch with the psychic spiritualness of me. You see, it was like a shield, and then as soon as all that happened, that I let down that shield, and my body became balanced, okay. And I'm a shadow of my former self. But when I met Giorgio, he didn't see any of that. He saw the spiritual me. He saw, the outer me was not there. He saw the spiritual. I felt that feeling from him. I felt that acceptance. I felt the love, okay? I felt a non-judgment, you know? And we never want to judge because we don't know what that person's movie is. This is a game. It's a movie. We all came here to play a part. So we don't know. But I just felt this connection, this connection to him. And who knew I would meet you 20 years later, right?
Right.
And anyway, so that's really, I don't remember a whole lot, except that a real love, a non-physical love, an unconditional love.
Between you and him.
It is amazing.
Yeah.
And there's, everything is so synchronistic, and sometimes we take it for granted, we don't pay attention, to those little hints that we get from the universe or the people that come into our lives.
And what about this vortex? Because it's a very new thing for many people who are going to see this video, and I would like if you can explain with your vision that is very high to somebody that has no idea of Sedona and the vortex of Sedona, what are these places? What is going on in these places?
So we are energy. We are electrical energy. Okay? And one of the things my daughter does is she can take a picture of your body and we can see your aura, your electrical energy. We are energy, electrical energy. The earth is also, okay, electrical energy. Now, you know about chakras?
Yeah.
Okay, so we have energy center in our bodies, right? Like the throat chakra, our third eye chakra.
And they are vortex.
And they are vortexes of it. It's kind of like where the energy connects, okay? It's like a ley line where the energies cross. And where the energy crosses, it is very intense, okay? Now, Sedona is not the only place on the earth that has vortexes, okay? There's other places. But for some reason here, it is more intense. And one of the reasons is because of the iron oxide in the rocks. You see, the rocks are red because of the iron, okay? Now, many, maybe billions of years ago, there was water here. Okay? There was water here. And the water carved all these beautiful formations in the rock. I don't know when the water left or what happened there, but so there are certain areas where it is stronger than others, okay? And the and there's a whole scientific book about it, you know. But I'm not a scientist.
Yeah.
Okay? All I know is the energy that I feel.
Yeah.
Yeah. So when I go there, when I've been there, and I just feel something. I get insights. I get impressions. I see, you know, visions of what to do next. Okay. So, you know, like my tiny house out there, that was a vision. Okay. So and it came true today. Okay.
Yes.
And it's a very cute, you know, little house that I was just sitting at a vortex, and I kept seeing it, you know, and then I saw it on the road, and I said, oh my God, I have to stop there. So you may get insights, you will feel things. I highly recommend when you come to Sedona that you don't just get a map or take a Jeep tour, okay? And because the Jeep tours will take you to the vortexes, and they'll say this is this vortex and this is this vortex, but they won't tell you, you won't have the spiritual experience.
Yeah.
Okay? So we have people here that take you out to the vortexes, and some of them aren't well known because they're kind of our secret little spots, okay? But get you in a place, okay, where you can actually experience that energy, okay? Because it's kind of hard. One of the places that's really strong for me is the chapel.
Ah, the chapel, yeah.
Okay.
Also, your daughter in the book, she wrote that. I read the book of your daughter.
Oh, yeah.
It's very nice.
Yeah. So when you go to when I go to the chapel, it's very strong, the energy there for me. And the woman who built that chapel for a Catholic priest, actually, they built it because they felt the vortex. They knew the vortex. Many years ago, there was a woman here. Her name was Paige Bryant. And she's the one who originally, you know, did all the work to, you know, about the vortexes, made it public.
Ah, okay. A woman.
Yeah.
A woman.
And but there are scientific books wherein they come with their little Geiger counters or whatever they do with this, and they measure that. Yeah.
But so your advice is to explore by yourself, so that you can find your own right place where you feel more the vortex, right? This is
right. Or hook up, call in someone who knows to take you, to help you do it. Okay? Because a lot of time people come here from everywhere.
Yeah.
You know, California, Europe, everywhere, and they're in that energy. Okay, you need to be here a couple days. You need to relax, get in it again. You know, I had 2 readers and one of my salespeople that recently went on vacations back to their homes, and they're like they're so out of it. You know, they're so oh my God, you know, because when you get out of Sedona's energy, when you get out of this energy, and you get into the other world, you know, it can be pretty intense.
Yeah, especially for a sensitive psychic person.
It's right. So anytime I go someplace, it's always good for me to come home. But I'm the most comfortable here that I've ever been, so I'm never leaving. Yeah,
and actually, wherever you go to Sedona, it's a whole vortex.
Exactly.
So wherever you stay, if you stay in the right attitude, you perceive the vortex's energy, even if you're not into the spot.
Right.
It's amazing. It's very strong.
And most people don't realize. No, because people come here for crystals. I have crystals from all over the world. Crystals, they're just conduits of energy. You know, they're amplifiers of energy. there are crystals in all these red rocks. If you go on a hike, I have my house that I live in is in what I call the heart vortex of Sedona. Okay. Because I bought that house because I immediately felt my heart energy open when I went there. Now there's a vortex behind a couple blocks from my house that I sometimes climb the mountain, and if you really look, you will see where the rain has washed away some of the red rock. You will see crystals. You will see crystals sparkling. Now, they're tiny crystals, so it's not, something that we're going to dig out of the ground and bring in the store and sell. But you will see crystal in the red rocks, which is an amplifier of the energy, which is another reason that it's so strong here.
Yeah. And what about Native Americans? Here is also a place where they have been a lot. They are here. And do you, what is your relationship with this philosophy, culture, and spirituality? And if you want to tell us some experiences that you had with this kind of energy, Native Americans energy.
I haven't had a lot. I've explored this, okay? I've explored this. Now, Native Americans now are way different than their ancestors. They've become civilized, Americanized, but still there's a lot of really spiritual people. And many years ago when I came here, several of those people were here. Now, there's a place not far from here called Montezuma's Well, where the Native American culture says the earth, the life on this planet began, that it came out of that. It's a bottomless pit, actually. They've never found the bottom of it.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I mean, divers, they can never find the bottom of it. But anyway, there's a lot of different stories, okay? But if you go out, all the way out Dry Creek Road, there's a resort out there called the Enchantment Resort. Well, it's been there for many, many years, as long as I've been here. It was never successful. It would always go out of business, okay? And the Native American people that were here said because they built part of it on Indian burial ground, okay? And so but in those days they would go out there and they would pray and they would clear the area. Now there's still a place out there that you could go that's a very sacred place. It's called Rachel's Knoll, that a resort is built on it, but the person who sold the land left a provision, okay, that it has to be open to the public for spiritual reasons, for spiritual ceremony. Okay, so there's a lot of those places. And when I first came here, the ruins, the Native American ruins, they were not part of the Forest Service, and you could go there and you could spend time and do ceremony. It's a little more regulated now. You have to get permits and go on tours and stuff. But back in those days, it was a lot different energy than it is now. But the energy is still there, and people say that the Native American people that were here didn't come here to live here. They came here to hunt, to do ceremony, and this was a sacred place for them. So they traveled here for spiritual reasons. Okay, they didn't just live here. Okay, this was a sacred journey. Okay? Yeah, and that's what you see a lot of the petroglyphs, and if you learn how to read them, and it's like there's stories there. There's and so that culture was very strong here. Not so much anymore, but still there are a lot of people here.
And Sedona is the name of a woman.
Exactly.
It's the name of a white woman, or
yes,
yeah,
who was a settler here.
Yeah.
She and her husband came here. I've had many ghostly experiences here too. So, but that's a whole other thing. I could tell you about this ghost that I spoke to, and down where Sedona, Schnebly used to live. But that's maybe someday I'll write a book. But
I would love that.
It's a lot of information. Yeah.
Yeah.
I've had a lot of very spiritual experiences here.
Yeah. Do you want to end our video with like a last story where you give us because when you tell your experiences, you emanate, radiate an energy that for me that I'm listening to you, and for the people who are going to see this video, is very transforming. It's very nice and peaceful and very good. And so I would like to ask you to tell us a last spiritual experience that you have lived, to end this video in a meditative and inspiring mood.
See, what you're feeling from me is unconditional love.
Yeah.
Okay? And we all need to get there. Okay? Because there's so much going on in the world that can distract us. Okay? But if we just keep in spiritual love everyone. You can find something to love in every person you meet. Okay? That's the first thing I look for. What do I love about this person? Okay? And genuinely, because there is something to love in every person. And when you feel that unconditional love, your life is so easy. Your life becomes easy. It doesn't matter what's happening on the outside. It doesn't matter if the plane is late, if they've lost your baggage, none of that matters, because you're in unconditional love. Okay? And it's nobody's fault, because you know the universe has it orchestrated perfectly. And that's the space we need to get in. Mm-hmm. And we need to sometimes learn how to do that. You can pray for it. Okay? Wake up every morning. I wake up every morning and say, God, universe, use me today. What can I do? Who can I love? Okay? How can I be of assistance? Okay? Work through me. Mm-hmm. Okay? And so that's where we really need to get. That's people look for enlightenment. You know, some people take drugs for enlightenment. I don't know if they work or not. Mm-hmm. There's something in Peru with spiritual medicine. And ayahuasca. And I don't know. Okay, I don't really need it. So you can get there maybe with that. I don't know, but I don't need it, because every day I wake up and try to see the love and the beauty. Mm-hmm. Okay, and that's something you can teach yourself to do. You can teach yourself to do it, because the minute you have a negative emotion, I refuse to go there. I refuse to go there. You know, I want to be back in that love.
Yeah,
and that's
I refuse
the energy.
to go there.
That's the energy you feel.
Yeah.
And I feel it from you too.
Oh, yeah, I feel very connected to you.
Mm-hmm.
And also, before we were talking about, because in this period I'm discovering a past life in America, and also Anita is helping me, because she gave me some important points to reflect on. And before you were talking about your experience in the sales industry, where you sell things, and you told me a very interesting thing that I will keep in my mind. I will say it to the people, that at some point, about this unconditional love, at some point you what I understood is that instead, when you were selling, you said, instead of thinking about what can I sell to the people that come to me, you spiritualized your job, your work, and you began to think, I want to be an assistant to give these people what they need to receive.
Right. I want them to just come to me for what they need.
Yeah.
I don't want to sell it to them, push it on them. I just want to be available. If they need something, I'm here to give it to them.
Yeah, and for somebody who is in the beginning of a spiritual journey, and because I hear many people that say, hey, I have this job, I would like to be spiritual, but everyday life is difficult. No, this kind of complaints. But if you put spirituality in whatever you do, for example, a normal job where you are selling something, but your attitude changes, then your vibration gets higher, and then you amplify the positivity in the ambience where you are, and then you change it, and maybe your life will get you somewhere else, and this is what happened to you after that, right?
Right, and people ask me, they say, I need more success and abundance in my life. How can I get more success and abundance? I said, get spiritual. Do that first. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
And then the rest will just come automatically.
Yeah.
It's the way it happens. Yeah.
Yeah. So thank you very much, Anita. It was amazing to meet you, and I hope to see you again, and maybe I will come again to give a concert here, collaborating with you.
I would love that.
Yeah.
And we've talked a little bit about that earlier, but that we're waiting for it to materialize.
Yeah, exactly.
We don't know what it's going to look like. We just know it.
Exactly. We let it happen.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And if you want to come to Sedona, the center of Anita Dalton is Center for the New Age, and it's very easy to reach because it's in the very center of the city. I really recommend you to come here and visit, and thank you for watching this video. Thank you, Anita. Thank you, Max, that you are doing the video for us, and unconditional love to you.
I guess we're done.
Hare Krishna.